Hey guys, how you doing? Ron Raymond here from the Raymond Report with your MLB baseball preview and prediction for a Ruby Tuesday, June 15th. Hope you're having yourself a good start to your day. As always, don't forget, subscribe to our channel by tapping that notification bell in the top right-hand corner or hit the subscribe button below this video if you're watching on a mobile device. Today's podcast brought to you by Bullpenpix.com. Anybody can play, anybody can join. And we do have a new leader here, and it's already the one-man party right here, Arthur Kent. Art 55, 772 points. Art is a new member here I've noticed in the last week, and he's climbing the ranks really quickly. In fact, he's at 772 points, and when you click on this, you can see his best bets of 73% to 100%, 12-2, and 27-6 when he has a confidence rating of 63 to 72%. Keep up the good work, Art. Glad to have you aboard here at Bullpenpix.com. And then there's Old Faithful, Ed Drake Muss here at 754, and my buddy from Montreal, Eddie-O. Eddie-O, we all love Eddie-O here at 750. And folks, you can follow their picks along with my selections. In fact, not a bad day yesterday. In fact, I had an email asking me yesterday, and I get these emails a couple of times, say, Ron, how come your picks on Bullpen are completely different than your picks that you give on the video? Easy. The picks that I give out on the videos right here each and every day, these here, as I say, the computer picks, right? These are the averages using the analytics from previous situations since 1996 leading up to the day of the game. And what I do is I get the average and I get the coming off situation along with the ranges of the sides and total, and then I accumulate the averages, then I give you the computer pick. Now, if you do want my selections, I went 11-2 yesterday. I went 3-0 on my premium picks at ATSstats.com. Folks, if you're interested in my best bets, my top plays, you can get them each and every day at ATSstats.com, or you can get them for free at Bullpenpix.com. In fact, all you got to do is hit follow my picks, then go to your following page right here, and you can see the players that I'm following right here. And what you want to do is compare your selection with their selection. And folks, it's one of the best handicapping tools to have if you are betting baseball. We all have a lot of resources and a lot of information sites that we go to, but I feel this is the one. Bullpenpix.com allows you to see other players' winning picks. Think about it. They're putting in winning picks for you. They've done their research, and they're sharing it with you. So why not share the love and have everybody post at Bullpenpix.com? Follow the top scores. The thing I always say, if you're in this for the long run and you're trying to make money, following friends, you better have friends that win, right? But I think your best friends are the top scorers, right? Follow the top scorers, and trends are your friends, and I'll get to that at the end of the show. All right, what I'm going to do real quickly here is I'm going to go through the top baseball teams from an offense and defensive perspective, and there's only one team that has cracked the top five in both categories, and that's right, that's the Tampa Bay Rays, the team that I have at the beginning of the year winning the American League East, and I also liked them in the World Series. Can't remember the price I got, but it was a nice price. Tampa Bay, the fifth best offense at 4.9 runs a game. Number 4, those Toronto Blue Jays, those young Blue Jays. I think Boston just happy to see them out of Fenway right now. Cincinnati, even though Cincinnati's struggling a bit, they still can hit 5.09 averages run a game. The Dodgers, 5.2, and your number 1 scoring offense in baseball, the Houston Astros, 5.5. Now, the Chicago White Sox are your number 1. So when I do the defensive ranking, I take in consideration just the averages, right? When you think about it, so here's the top defensive team. So this includes pitching and defensive fielding, and your number 1 team on defense, the Chicago White Sox. So that is the pitching, the starting, the relief, and the closer. 3.41 runs against. San Diego, number 2 at 3.4. The Giants, 3.5. The Mets at 3.52. And the Tampa Bay Rays, there they are again at 3.67. Those are your top offense and defensive stats teams here in the Major League Baseball for 2021 at ATSstats.com. And if you're wondering, how do I get those tools, Ron? Go to ATS Stats, go to Tools, go to Team Scoring Rankings, and then you will get these tools right here. In fact, I'll do videos today on some of the features we have here at ATS. So this way, if you're wondering, where does he get that all the time? I'll do a short demo. Now, I've broken down some of the, this is called the SBI, the Sports Betting Index, and you want to know what's come in the last 7 days in baseball? Chalk. Hey, in one word, chalk. So get that big tall glass of milk because we're going to wash down a lot of chalk the last 7 days here. 70% of favorites in baseball have won 30% of the dogs. And what I did this morning, guys, is I broke down the last 3 weeks. And if you ever sit there and you say, okay, I'm doing my picks at bullpenpix.com. How many underdogs should I take in one day, right? But you're not really thinking like that because you're going game by game and whatever the matchup is. But when you look at the big picture point of view, right? You're saying, how many dogs do I have today? In the last 3 weeks, so in this week here from June 8th to June 14th, 4.2 on average of underdogs win per day. On this the range here from June 1st to June 7th, 5.1 underdogs per day come in. And on this range, May 25th to May 31st, 5.4. So on average, you're talking about 4.8 dogs per day that come in baseball. So just keep that in mind when you're doing your handicapping and when you look at your picks at the end of the day. If you got anywhere from 4 to 5 underdogs, you're probably on pace to having a good day. Just make sure you get the right underdog, right? Easier said than done. All right, so that's the SBI. And I'll get to the Trends Are Your Friends segment at the end. But let's kick it off right now with the New York Mets coming off that 5-2 win last night against the Chicago Cubs. They were hot coming into last night's game, but they ran into a buzzsaw called the New York Mets. And looking at the averages today, minus 145 is the odds, in fact, on the New York Mets. The over-under set 8.5. ATS forecast, computer pick. Going to go back to the Metropolitans here. 4.8 to 4.4, the over-under at 9.32. Alex Mills going to get the call here for the Cubbies, and he'll be up against Taijuan Walker of the New York Mets. And Taijuan having a good year. He's 5-2 on the season with an ERA of 2.07. And when he starts for the New York Mets, check this out: 9-2 on the year, 5-5-1 to the over/under. My line on this game, minus 139, so a bit overvalued here for the New York Mets, but you're getting a team that's coming off a good win, but you're up against another team that's having a pretty good season. And prior to last night, we're having a good run, 38-28 on the year for the Cubbies. Pittsburgh taking on the Washington Nationals. Now I had the looking at this game, they're coming off a 3-2 loss in their last game against Washington, and for Pittsburgh, Washington, they're coming off a 3-2 win. That was yesterday. That's right. Okay, I'm getting confused between Cincinnati and the Milwaukee game. It's this upside down M right here that's throwing me off. Right, I'm reading things mirror wise. Patrick Corbin taking on Tyler Anderson today of the Bucks, and the bookmakers have made Nationals a 163 favorite. The over/under is set at 8. ATS forecast gonna lean with Patrick Corbin and the Nationals, 4.2 to 4.07. The over/under at 8.33. The Pittsburgh Pirates now on an 8-game losing streak, 23-42 on the year. And looking at the Washington Nationals on a 2-game win streak, 28-35 on the year. But again, a lot of unders, 20-42-1 on the season. New York Yankees taking on the Toronto Blue Jays. Blue Jays having a split of the 4-game series at Boston. They won the first and they lost the fourth one. And then they won, actually, you know what? Let me get this straight here. They lost the first game, and then they lost the fourth game, and they won the 2 in the middle. There you go. Toronto Blue Jays, minus 115 here against the Bronx Bombers. Now, New York Yankees, we all know things aren't going too well right now. They're on a 3-game losing streak. Jordan Montgomery is going to be called to the mound to stop the bleeding here. They're 10-3 in Montgomery starts, and when you look at Montgomery, not a bad 3-1 with a 3.9 ERA. He's up against Toronto's ace, Hyun-Jin Ryu of the Toronto Blue Jays. They're 7-5 in his starts. Hyun-Jin Ryu on the season, 5-4 and a 3.34 ERA, or 24. I can't read my own writing, but it's one of those two. And looking at Toronto on the line here, minus 115. My line exactly there. 116 was my line on the Toronto Blue Jays, and we do have the Yankees pulling the upset here. 4.9 to 4.3. The over/under at 9.23. And looking at the Yankees on the year, 33-32, and they lost today will get them back to 500. Baltimore taking on the Tribe, the Cleveland Indians, a minus 170 favorite in this one. They're going to send Paul Quantrill's son, Cal Quantrill, to the hill. He's up against Matt Harvey of the Baltimore Orioles. We do like the O's in this one. 5.6 to 2.8, the over-under at 8.42. Baltimore losing last night 4-3 against the Cleveland Indians, and they are now on a 5-game losing streak. Boston, just happy to see Toronto get out of town. And they took the red eye to Atlanta last night. They're going to face the Braves. And Tucker Davidson's going to get the call here for the Chop Shop. And looking at Eduardo Rodriguez. You don't want to say that 10 times. Eduardo Rodriguez. That's a tongue twister. And minus 110. So basically a pick 'em price here for the Braves. And looking at our, look at that, a tie. 4.06, 4.06. The over-under at 8.12. 53% chance of winning on the Raymond Report. Compared to 60% for Atlanta. Atlanta not having a great year, right? With all that talent, and they're 3 games below 500, 30 and 33. My line on that game, I had the Bull Sox at minus 153, and you're getting pick 'em price here today in Atlanta. Texas taking on the Houston Astros. The Stros, as we said, the number 1 hitting team in the Bigs. 6.03, 3.2. The over-under at 9.28. Texas coming off a 5-3 loss in their last game. Both teams on 1 day's rest here, and minus 185, and keep an eye out on the starter. I'm seeing different starters here for tonight. I'm listing Lance McCullers, but I'm also seeing, I saw someone else on the starting rotation here. I'll get that in just 1 second for you guys, and if you just bear with me. While doing my homework here this morning, Texas, I did see that Jake Odorizzi might get the nod, so keep an eye out on who's going to start, but go with our forecast, 6.03, 3.25, the over-under at 9.28, and looking at both teams, no streaks, but I will have a selection at Bullpenpix on this game, and again, this is the computer pick, and you want to follow my picks at bullpenpix.com if you're interested in following my selection. All right, the game of the night last night was in Chicago, the Southsiders. In fact, the White Sox losing to Tyler Glasnow over Lance Lynn. That was a good game. I watched that one, and I also watched the Blue Jay game. And going into today, Tampa Bay, a 120 chalk. The over-under set at 7. ATS forecast. Computer pick, going to go to the Chicago White Sox. 4.8 to 4.2. The over-under at 9.03. Shane McClanahan going to go here for Tampa Bay, and he's up against Dallas Keuchel of the Chicago White Sox. My line on this game, I had the Rays at minus 190. You're getting good value at 120. But I also had the Chicago White Sox at minus 196, and you're getting plus 100. You're getting good value, you're getting a good pitcher, and you're also getting the forecast leaning your way. I could see a White Sox victory here maybe tonight. Detroit taking on the Kansas City Royals. Now the Royals losing big to the Tigers last night, 10-3. Mike Minor is going to toe the rubber here today for Kansas City. He's up against Casey Mize of the Tigers. And looking at KC now, they're on a 4-game losing streak. Their last 3 games have gone over the total, and we do like the Tigers to go back-to-back here tonight. 9.6 to 6.3, the over-under at 16.08. So 2 converted touchdowns with 2-point conversions successfully. And you see hey, CFL just mentioned they were getting going, so I'm already pumped knowing the CFL is going to get going pretty soon. And so we do like Detroit in this one. Cincinnati taking on the Milwaukee Brewers. Now, this is one of the questions one of our emailers asked me. He goes, how come your computer likes Milwaukee, but you're taking Cincinnati? Gutierrez. I thought Vladimir Gutierrez is an underrated pitcher. I've watched him pitch now, and I really liked him yesterday. But looking at today, Luis Castillo, and I'll tell you one thing, I'm not going Cincinnati today because Castillo has not been sharp this year. 2-11 for the Reds when he starts. 10-2-1 to the over. He'll be up against Brett Anderson of the Brew Crew, and you can see when Milwaukee starts Anderson, they are 6-4 in his starts, and the line is 133. My line was minus 144. You're getting a good discount here at 133, and we do have the Brew Crew winning 4.16 to 4.14. The over/under at 8.3. Marlins taking on the St. Louis Cardinals. Now, the Cardinals winning last night 4-2 against the Marlins. And I do like this pitcher here. Trevor Rogers going to go for the Miami Marlins. He's 7-3 on the year. Think about it. You don't see a lot of pitchers with high, 20, to see a pitcher win 20 wins in the season is very rare. Back in the 90s, early 2000s, when Clemens and Martinez was pitching and Randy Johnson, getting 20 wins was like par for the course for those guys. But when you see a pitcher, not even before the All-Star break, getting close to 10 wins, 7-3 on a Miami Marlins team, you know he's pretty good, 2.02 ERA. And when he starts for the Marlins, they are, I don't have that record yet, but I will get it updated. But 3.8, 4.96 for St. Louis is the computer forecast. I'm going to disagree with that. I do like the Marlins here. At 8.84 is the total. So it does like it to go over the total, and the Marlins now on a 2-game losing streak. San Diego taking on the Colorado Rockies. Now the Padres losing last night at Coors Field. In fact, that was a low-scoring game. I really thought that one was going to fly over, but no, both pitchers pitched well, Gomber and Dinelson Lamet. 3-2 was the final for Colorado. And looking at today's starting pitcher, you got Yu Darvish for the Padres up against Chichi Gonzalez of the Colorado Rockies. And when Yu Darvish goes for the Padres, they're 11-2 in his starts. And we do like the Padres here to bounce back and get this one. 5.6 to 5.2, the over-under at 10.86. Halos taking on the Athletics. Oakland winning last night, 8-5. And Andrew Heaney going to go here today for LA. He'll be up against Frankie Montas of the Oakland Athletics. Now, Oakland on a 4-game win streak. My line on the game, minus 171. The bookmakers are only giving you 140 to pay, so you're getting a discount here today with Frankie Montas, but be careful. They're only 7-6 in Montas starts, but they are on a 4-game win streak, and the last 4 games for the Halos have gone over the total. Arizona taking on the Giants. The Giants a 172 price here today against the D-backs, and no listed pitcher yet for Arizona. Zach Lytle for San Francisco, 4.5 for Arizona, 3.1 for the Giants. The over-under at 7.68. Arizona now mirrored on an 11-game win streak. Minnesota taking on the Seattle Mariners. Mariners winning last night 4-3 over Kenta Maeda and the Minnesota Twins. Marco Gonzalez started for the Mariners, and James Happ going to go today for the Twins. He'll be up against Chris Flexen, and we'll see if he'll flex any muscle tonight as they are 8-4 in his starts. And looking at the line, minus 139 for the Twinkies. I had them at plus 135, so a bit overvalued, and you got a C neutral type team. Neutral means that they're either 3-4 or 4-3 in their last 7 games, according to the Raymond Report types of team systems. And the Kogo today is at 51%. We do like the Mariners, 4.2 to 3.5. The over-under at 7.74. So we do like it to go under the total today at T-Mobile Park, and the Kogo at 51%. And the last game of the day is the LA Dodgers taking on the Philadelphia Phillies. This game was 1-0 for the longest time last night. And before I went to bed, I woke up, it was 3-1. So they finally were able to get to that, to the Phillies pitching. And it was a 3-1 victory. And Julio Urias going to go today for the Dodgers. He'll be up against Zach Eflin of the Philadelphia Phillies. And looking at both these teams, LA on a 2-game win streak, 40-26 on the season, where Phillies now back to 500 at 32-32. And we do like the Dodgers to win this one. 3.5, Phillies to win this one. 3.69, 3.54 for the Dodgers. The over-under at 7.23. And those are your computer picks today. Again, folks, these are the computer picks, the previews, and just a snapshot of the Rain Report. You can get the full detailed Rain Report of every game. Go to MLB, go to Rain Report here at ATSstats.com. And once you get inside, so let's say we go to that Blue Jay game, Yankees and the Blue Jays, I have a detailed report on every game and tons of information. Sometimes there's, it's like paralysis by analysis or analysis by paralysis, whatever that saying is. But just be ready for a mountain of information. And speaking of information, let's go to the Trends Are Your Friends segment. People love this one. And let me try to find you guys some really good trends here today. The Astros, 13-1 as a 180-200 home favorite, coming off American Conference opponent the last 2 years. I saw one on the Mets that was pretty good. Here it is. The New York Mets, 12-1 as a 120-140 home favorite, coming off a win in Game 1 of a series the last 5 years. So when they won Game 1 of a series and they're a 120-140 favorite, 92.3% in the next game. The Royals, 12-1 as a 140-160 home favorite during night games the last 4 years. Pretty good. That's a pretty good record right there. And let me see if I can get any other good ones here. The Red Sox, 11-1 as an away team, coming off an American League East Division opponent this season, so it might be a good spot for Boston against Atlanta. And let me get a nice total. Let's see if we got any totals down here. Here's one here. For the Orioles. Okay, here we go. The under is 13-2 for the Orioles as an away team, coming off a 5-game losing streak the last 6 years. And friends, these were trends that are your friends, hopefully for a Tuesday, a Ruby Tuesday, June 15th. All right, let me see here where we go. All right, bullpenpix.com. Folks, I'm telling you, if you're not if you're not using bullpenpix.com, you're really not helping yourself, because this is a great tool to, I'm not saying that you're gonna hit the bullseye and the lottery, but what you want to do is follow winning handicappers. Like if you go to top scores and you see a guy like Art55 who's on a great run. In fact, if you just click on the score, you see how he's done in the 73 to 100%, 12-2. And this is why you want to follow a guy like Art, a guy like Muss or Eddie O or Stoller here and Justin at MLB Game Picks. And then you go to your following page. After you've made your selections, compare your picks with people who have won on a consistent basis. And the best thing about this, they've proven to you that they are good because of their record, right? So when you follow proven records, it's like my grandmother always says, right? You hang around with winners, you be a winner. Hang around with losers, hey, you know how it goes, right? So you want to hang around winners. Maybe that's a good motto I can put here at Bullpenpix, right? Hang with winners at bullpenpix.com. And on that note, we'll call it a day. Cheers.